Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Okay. Uh, Directly into what happens, we are going back and forth about where we are and how long we've been traveling. We're seated next to each other, and Tanta Abidjan is sitting across from us. And this is, it appears to be some very, very early hours in the morning. So she is also, and if the father was edgy, then she definitely was, she had to be edgy too. These are the, pleasant or humorous times about the narrations. So I cannot help to give some giggles there, though it's not, it's definitely not preferred. But as we're discussing that, and she is not understanding what we're saying, she is saying back to us, whatever you all are saying about me, then you too. Because she thinks that we are talking about her as we're going back and forth. She doesn't understand English. So she says to us in Wolof, whatever you are saying about me, then you too. I don't know what you all are saying, but whatever you're saying about me, then you as well. Okay. She was and it still is, again, the head wife, a widow, this time of Papa Abdul Karim Fall. There was Tanta Abi Fall, who is still with us. And there was also Tanta Fatunjai, Tanfanjai. People, they butchered the name enough with the Fatu, and now they just made Fatnjai. That's terrible, I thought. That's just not cool. So what happens is that Abdul Karim Fall Archive, he has, and this is how we know how many, siblings we wound up with, or we ended up with at that time. Because again, he adopts, and then he has his moment. So it goes from moment to moment to moments, and I'm like, yeah, Allah. But the book, Fortresses of a Business Mind, makes some narration of that, or some mention of it, I should say. So there were 3 wives living in the compound. How many of his own children, how many of his adopted children, how many of his foster children he had at that time living there? The number at that specific juncture we will place at this time a total of 38 mouths that he had to feed in that house at that level. That did not include the extended family of those. So that was not the adult. So I gave the spouses, or I should say spouses one. So we're going to use wives. He had 3 wives. So he had 3 wives and 38 children, or those who were in the category of offspring, if you may, who were living there. That did not include the sector of adults who were employees or providing some type of service that they were being compensated for, who were also living there. So that number comes up to being well into 50, maybe even 60 people who were there. Well, 60 would really be on the high end. So I know people are going on about the children already. Well, we were just added on, so just wait and hear all of the variations that you know are going to be made with that number. But the house had multiple quarters, so you actually had quarters for the young boys, and then quarters for the girls, and then the older girls. You had quarters for Suri, who was the Quran teacher, known as Hujur in Bengali, Qari Sab in Pakistani. I can't go on, I'm sorry. And then you also had like maids or people who were there to help out with the upbringing of the children. I think at that time the oldest who was living of the offspring, or of my siblings I should say, had to be in their late 20s, had to be in their, if not early 30s. Yeah, if not early 30s, who were actually living there. Changes were made later on, but at that time where he actually had all three wives living there, and the foster children or the adopted children that he was caring for, they went well into at least 40 to 50 people total. The makeup of all of that we will get better into, but if you remember, you had 7, 10, and 11 just added on to that. As far as the youngest boys, we were in the youngest boy category. I'll say that you may have had a youngster, maybe Dam Sise and Papanjai, who were maybe, instead of them being 7, they had to be they had to be 5 or 6. Well, I would say they were 5 or 6, 5, 6 years old. But there is actually a very big portal that I may be able to bring to the council on that. Portal where it has just the 2 or 3 categories of boys, and it already has a good 25 of us there. I think there's also like Mam Fatim in there, and these are these siblings. I think we will have to go through a list of the siblings and who they were, or who they are. Munas, rahimahullah, is the only one I know to have returned to Allah. But Rashid, rahimahullah, is also there. He returned to Allah before she did. But something which is crucial is to take into full consideration that we are at the bottom of the barrel, or I myself am right down there. This is Africa. This is the world. How do things work when you're at the bottom of the barrel? I can tell you one thing. You can count on Allah and be patient, because the day is going to come when everything that was placed on you, you will understand why and how to use that to further yourself and those who are in need and have the right to have it. Your help, you'll be able to help them, inshallah. When we realized, after all, that we were in Dakar, things did change for us, because in Tuba we had our own quarters. I mean, we didn't interact with any children. We were guests in the Khalifa General's house. It's like you're a guest. I mean, the Khalifa General's house, I'm sorry, is bigger than, I mean, that is a building square. But the whole building, not building, I'm sorry, the whole block is his compound, and we had a set quarters in there. I mean, we didn't have to share food or anything like that. Everything was brought to us. But now, here we are sharing everything with, you know, strangers. Hello. No quarters this time. Well, no. Okay, so I think at the beginning we were given like the Cosby. I think we were given Cosby at some point. And I would say that, yeah, 50-50, we would be, in and out of other places. We didn't have anyone to really get to know, because none at our age spoke English. So the elders, maybe they had, those who had gone through extended high school, so they were like 17, even elder. Like Lahat had to be older than that. He was on his way to France at the time. They had to take us under their wing and kind of talk to us, and with the English that they had, the best they could do. But those are very important aspects of getting to know what Africa initially was like under the circumstances of the cultural shock. The scents are definitely different. I mean, we use everything is dish detergent here, and everything is clothes, powdered soap. We have this type of luxurious scent, we feel. So if we make it to a developing country, we find the first thing is going to be the feeling of the scent. It's really, really a strange feeling. But then the scent of the people has, even because the clothes, okay, are different, and they've been sweating a lot, and I think people, a lot of us here in America know enough about deodorant, where people that's not people everywhere. But the Prophet ﷺ used fragrance, oil and incense and things of this nature. So it's important that we try to smell our best. But yeah, I think that was the feeling of okay, we are now settled. Where we're supposed to be settled, because the Khalifa General gave us to his his secretary here, and here we are. So we're sitting back and just talking amongst ourselves, and we get sent to the Cosby, so we stay in Cosby and get rested, but you have mosquitoes and what have you, and then it's realized at that time that one of us has asthma. They didn't know that. They didn't realize that one of us has asthma, so the asthma starts to stir up. Asthma attack starts to happen, and then that changes a lot. That changes a lot. So we will have to pick up on the probes of the roots, causes, and effects of the Quranic revolution of 2021. Muhammad Abdul Fattah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen.